Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Diane, and today we're going to be making sweet potato pie. That's right, you heard it, sweet potato pie. I'd like to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for you joining us. And to all of my subscribers, thank you so very much. All right, let's get right into this. So I've got my sweet potatoes that I've already started to peel, and I'm just going to get them chopped and just peel them over into a little grocery bag. You know, that's what I do. If you watch me for a while, I just peel the peelings over into a grocery bag and throw them right in the trash. And so I'm just getting these peeled up, and then I'm just going to chop them. And I got my water getting ready to come to a boil. I'm going to get rid of this end. And so we're going to talk very briefly about sweet potatoes. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get them as even as I can chopped. Because I want them to cook and be done at the same rate. But what I want to talk about as far as the sweet potato is concerned is some people will boil them. Some people will go ahead and take them and put them in the oven and let them bake. And I have done all the above. And personally, I cannot tell any difference in it. It's a hard sweet potato. I can't tell any difference in them. So for me, the quickest method to do it is just to boil them. So we're going to be boiling them. I already washed them. The potato skins were clean. I don't have any gunk on the outside of it. And we're just going to place our potatoes into the water. Ooh, that's hot water. And we're going to let them cook until they are tender. We want them to be smushy, tender, okay? So that's going to take a good 30 to 40 minutes. Now, I have about a pound. I've already measured it out. So it's 2 large sweet potatoes. About a pound and a half, a little bit over a pound and a half sweet potatoes is what I have cooking in here. So we're looking at about 2 cups of sweet potato, which is going to be about 16 ounces of sweet potatoes. And so we're just going to let these cook until they get very tender, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My potatoes are done. It took about 25 to 30 minutes. I did kind of time it. I'm just so used to doing everything without timing it, but I kind of timed it so you'd know exactly how long it took. So I have drained them, and then we're going to get up close and we're going to start actually making our sweet potato pie. It's going to be so good. You're going to love it. Okay, so as you can see, these are our potatoes, and they are very tender. Okay, they just smush just like that. And that's the way you want them. So the first thing we're going to add is a stick of unsalted butter. And this has been just sitting out and gotten to room temperature. And we're going to mix that butter in there really good. This pie goes together really, really well. We got our oven preheated to 360 degrees, okay? We want to cook our pie very hot, okay? So we're cooking it at a very hot temperature, 360 degrees. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some canned milk, okay? Now, I have always used canned milk. I've never used just a regular sweet milk. And at this point, I really don't measure. I just pour because I've made it for so long. And I stir. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Very good. I'm just going to give it another quick stir. And then we're going to add in some sugar. And again, I can't tell you exactly what my measurements are for my sugar. But I'm going to start with a cup of sugar. And maybe a cup and a half. I'm going to stir. Then I'm going to taste it. Now, while the sweet potato is hot, you're not going to get the same taste. You're not going to get the same sweetness. As it cools, it'll get sweeter, if that makes any sense to you. So you want to be very careful not to sweeten it too much. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick taste. That's good already. Oh my goodness. Then I'm going to put in nutmeg. Get that to focus. Now some people have put in cinnamon, lemon flavoring, but I always just put in nutmeg and vanilla flavoring. And I put in a fair amount. And sometimes I will just sprinkle some on the top as opposed to putting it in the actual pie filling. And then most of the time, like I'm doing today, I'm going to put it in the pie filling and I'm going to sprinkle some on top of it. Okay, you can leave that off if you don't care for it. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to have that in there. And then we're going to use some vanilla. And for that, we would go with about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, again, I just never measure. I've made this pie so much that I've just never measured it. Next, we're going to go in with some flour. And I generally put in 2 to 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And this is just to help it thicken up and set up. So we're just going to stir that in. I'm going to give it a quick taste test. Give it a test. I think the sweetness is really good for me. I don't think I need to add any more sugar to it at this point. Yeah, that's great. I am good with that. And then we're going to do 2 eggs. And I always beat my eggs separately before I put them into anything. And that's just to help it distribute evenly in the mixture of whatever I'm making, be it cornbread, cake, or whatever. I always mix my eggs first. I'm throwing this in the trash, wash my hands. I will be right back. Alright, so we're just going to beat our eggs. And that looks good to me. We're just going to put them over in our pan. All right. I'm just going to stir this in. And then we're going to get our hand mixer. And we're going to mix everything really good with the hand mixer. The reason that I use the hand mixer is because sweet potatoes tend to have strings in them. And even though I don't see any, a lot of times when you use your hand mixer, they will actually come to the surface and they will attach themselves to the hand mixer, to the beaters. So that's what we're going to do next. Is I'm going to get the hand mixer and I'm going to beat this for about a good 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to put this on high. We're going to beat it for about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and we'll be done. Okay, and as you can see, we got those little strings. So that got them all whipped up in there. All right. And if you notice, I saved the egg for last, and that gave me the ability to actually taste my pie filling without tasting the raw egg. say the egg will give it flavor, but you'll still be able to taste it and know where you are at when you before you put that egg in there. Okay, here's my pie crust, and we're baking it unbaked. And I normally always bake my pie crust unbaked. And we're just gonna fill that up. I'm just doing one pie. It's a little bubble right there. So I can lift that up and get that bubble to go away. Very good. Also, these freeze very good. So if you want to freeze it, make it ahead of time for Thanksgiving and freeze it, you can do that. All right, that looks good. And then we're going to hold our nutmeg up in the air, and we're going to do sprinkle, a generous sprinkle of the nutmeg. And we're going to put it in our oven and let it cook until it's done. And that normally I do it by doing the jiggle. If it doesn't have a jiggle in the middle, maybe just a slight jiggle, then it's done. I'll try to time it out for you and let you know how long it took. So I'm going to get this pie in the oven and I'll be right back. So you can even freeze sweet potato pie, coconut pie. I've done that in the past. I just take a piece of parchment paper and cover it, and then I take a Ziploc, the big large Ziploc bag, just slide it in there and seal it real good. Set it flat in the freezer and just let it stay in there until you get ready to use it. I've let mine stay in there sometimes 2 months at a time. Then just take it out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator and let it defrost and enjoy, and you can't even tell that it's been frozen. This will save you a lot of time around Thanksgiving and Christmas. When you're trying to get all of those other dishes together, you can go ahead and start making this now, and it'll be ready by the time you get ready for Thanksgiving dinner. And this would make a very, very lovely accompaniment to your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. Smells good. Can't wait. So thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to be bringing you more Christmas and Thanksgiving dishes. Just hang around and see. God bless you, and I'll see you real soon.